Howdy. Today we're going to talk about circle cutting a hide for reata strings. So once the hide is on the ring and it's dried, and you cut it off the ring and roll it up, it's hard as a rock, right? So basically it's going to look like this. So these two hides are one was Red Angus, and they were just under 1,000 pounds. And so I took that hide like that, and I have extra large garbage cans, and I filled them up, and then I just set it in the garbage can, and then flip it over and do the other side. And when it gets, good and soaked, I take it out of there and put it over a rope or whatever outside, and just let that moisture and everything dry off there. And you have to check it and get the feel. Then I bring it in and I put it in a garbage bag overnight. Now, this is the one that I did yesterday. So if you look here, the temper, like this has been sitting on here for half an hour now. So the temper's pretty good. Like it's good for cutting. So now this is the flesh side up. And so I went along with a magic marker and I identified all the knife marks, defects and knife marks. In this one, I think there's 4. The nice thing about this is, if you look here, they're kind of going with your cut, so it's easy to cut them out. If they're going across this way, and you got too many like that, then I'd use the hide for something else, cut circles out of it, and do quirts or bozels or whatever. So this one's ready to cut now, and so I wanted to show you like that. Back to this way. It's kind of tricky doing this by yourself. Okay, so these are the blades I use. And these are Stanley blades. And that's the shape. Like that. So I take 2 pairs of pliers, and I take the blade and I break it in half. And then this is my cutter. Okay, you can see the blades in there now, and it's not sticking out the bottom, so I don't cut myself, because that's what probably you'll do. Calipers. So this hide here, it was bigger than this, but I've taken my knife and there's a certain spot on both sides here where it's going to be really thin, so most of the belly's cut out, and then I go along and I trim off until like the thinnest spot. In this condition of temper, I'm looking for 5/64 as really thin. Like that's the lowest I'll go. 3/32 is what I'm really looking for. So right now this, after I trimmed it all off and made my oval, it's 4 feet wide by 5 feet, which is going to give me 240 feet or something like that, of in between 5/8 and 3/4 of an inch. Now if you look at this thing, you can see where I took the grinder to it, and basically it's straight here, but it's curved there. And so what that is sometimes when you're cutting your hide, just the shape and the way you're cutting it, and you start cutting your defects out, you're gonna, instead of the hide being curved outside, you'll get a little dip in. This helps you taking that, not the lead edge, but the back edge off here and rounding it off a little bit. So when you cut like that, you can follow it. You have to put a lot of pressure on it, but you can follow it. So that's That's what I did with this. So now I have a garbage can here because I don't want my string on the floor. And I started this, but this is how it should pull. Like this should pull nice. Like so. So the temper's just about perfect on this for cutting. And where to get your hides now? Well, these hides came from a packing plant. So they have a kill day. So you phone them up the day before and say, you know, how many hides do you have tomorrow? They might say 2, they might say 4. Well, you can go there. So this hide is $10. Now, they don't care about taking the hide off. They want to get the animal inside, process it. So you can offer them an extra $10 you want, or make a deal with the cutters, the guys outside taking the hide off, some beer or whatever, and to take a little bit more time so there's not so much knife marks in here. So on this one I got 4, which isn't bad for me. But like I said, they don't care. If you go to a mobile butcher, he doesn't care either, so you can make a deal with him. But that's the cheapest place to get hides that I know of. You can also try the Hutterites, especially if they have a milking operation. Get some Holsteins, they make good hides. And so what happens is when I come back around to this defect here, when I get to here now, when I cut this, I'm going to catch some of that. And then, you know, I got that thin spot in my reata string and I don't want that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife, start up here, follow along and just cut that out and keep on going and try and keep this round. I'm not going to take my knife and go like this because then I can't follow it with my cutter. So now, if let's say you get in trouble, let's say it's super hot out and your thinnest spot is beautiful to cut, your thickest spot is you're trying to pull through and you can't get it. If you got some big towels, soak them in water, lay it underneath, fold it over top, leave it for an hour, and then come back and check your temper. If it pulls, good, keep going. If it doesn't, do it again, and that way you're not touching what's good over there. You might just wipe it down with a wet rag. And if it got so bad that you couldn't do it, throw it back in the water, start all over again. So that's how I would do this. So that's how I circle cut a hide. And temper is the most important thing for cutting. If it's too soft, okay, let's say if you're doing a hide and there's a bunch of white spots in it and you want to cut the hide, you're going to have trouble because those white spots are super soft because they got too much moisture in it. So if you got those in it and the rest of it is nice, I would just start all over again, throw it back in there and get it so that when you're ready to cut, usually the white spots come from laying it on something. So air got to the other spots, made it good, but where it was sitting on something, it couldn't get at it, so it's soft there. So either hang it over a rope and keep turning it or flipping it or whatever and get it good, or do something, you'll figure something out. But if you got a bunch of white spots in it, you'll have trouble. You'll also have trouble with white spots when this is cut 90 feet long and you go to pull it through the evener. wherever that white spot is, if it's 4 inches, when you pull that through the evener like that, that white spot will just squeeze right into half of the width that you cut, and you'll have trouble making string. So you want to keep your string, temper your string is the most important thing, and your hide for cutting. So that's about all I can tell you for now. Next video will be re-soaking the string and putting it through the evening. Hope I helped you out.